Hello everyone, I feel extremely honored to have this opportunity to make my presentation here today. My article title is Effects of Stress and Subjective Well-Being on Quality of Life in College Students in the Context of COVID-19. I wrote this article with Mi-Jin Kim, Gye-Young Shin. Introduction. As COVID-19 is a novel infectious disease with strong contagious power, it has spread around the world. In Korea, the first confirmed case of COVID-19 were reported in January 2020, and the cumulative number of confirmed cases in August 2021 was 216,206. And the end of March 2022, the cumulative number of confirmed cases was 12,774,956. Currently, due to COVID-19 is still spreading and the number of confirmed cases continues to increase, the government has decided to gradually adjust the social distancing steps according to the extent of the spread. Pandemics such as COVID-19 are experienced suddenly and unprepared and are unpredictable and uncontrollable, resulting in disaster-like situations that can damage individuals, community, and country, potentially leading to the high levels of stress. In fact, the extraordinary experiences and physiological difficulties caused by the COVID-19 epidemic are increasing stress for the entire population and negatively affecting the quality of life. According to the COVID-19 National Health Survey announced by the Ministry of Health and Welfare in June 2021, the average score for depression in 2021 doubled compared to 2019 before the COVID-19 epidemic. In particular, the average score for depression and the ratio of risk group for depression were high in people in their 20s and 30s. Corona Blue, which refers to mental difficulties such as depression and anxiety caused by the COVID-19 pandemic, is evident in the 20s and 30s. And 30% of college students experienced Corona Blue. In addition, college students were found to be experiencing high level of stress due to the spread of COVID-19. According to previous studies, non-face-to-face environments such as non-face-to-face classes and social distancing reduced opportunity to meet others and loneliness felt cause stress. Jung categorized the stress that college students feel due to COVID-19 into four causes: infection and non-face-to-face social distancing, restrictions on college life experiences, and career uncertainty. Kang's study conducted a phenomenological study on lifestyle changes following the COVID-19 epidemic, targeting university students, and found that they were experiencing stress due to lifestyle changes caused by COVID-19. Recently, AAMC has started institutional efforts such as requesting that all medical education institutions must consider learners' health and physiological well-being as one of the directions for improving medical education. Park Bom-seok confirmed through research that the higher the stress of medical students, the lower the quality of life and the more actively coping with stress, the higher the perceived quality of life. College students in Korea do not have a high level of physiological well-being compared to college students in other countries. Quality of life is a complex concept that encompassed all aspects of physical, mental, social, and economic aspects as subjective evaluation of satisfaction felt for the whole of life, and can be defined as a happy and satisfying life in a general sense. Various ideas and opinions can be suggested about what constitutes a happy life and a satisfying life. From the point of view of college students, the degree of quality of life of college students can be evaluated by judging how much happiness and satisfaction each individual feels in. The evaluation of the quality of life can be said that the degree of satisfaction perceived through the interaction between the stimulus and response of the individual and the environment surrounding the individual determines the satisfaction with the quality of life due to the individual's subjective judgment. Factors influencing the evaluation of quality of life are evaluated by socio, physical, environmental factors such as income, food, clothing, and shelter, and educational level, which are objective aspects. In addition, various factors such as satisfaction experienced in the process of life, happiness, social growth, self-evaluation that feels like a worthwhile life, and superiority from comparison with others were found to affect subjective evaluation factors. Quality of life of college student goes beyond the level of satisfaction in personal life and has a significant impact on their professional lives in the long run. A low quality of life has been shown to lower social adaptability as a professional job after graduation and can have a negative impact on forming social values for one jobs. According to a preceding study that investigated the relationship between stress caused by COVID-19 and quality of life, there is a study on the relationship between stress caused by COVID-19 and quality of life and resilience of college students. There is also a study of the relationship between stress, quality of life, and positive physiological capital of college students and others due to COVID-19. However, there are a few studies on the relationship between COVID-19 induced stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life. This study identifies the level of stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life caused by COVID-19 in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic targeting college students. In addition, by examining the relationship between them and the factors that affect the quality of life, it was implemented to provide basic data for preparing measures to improve the quality of life. This study checks the degree of stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life of college students attending a 4-year university who participated in online classes after COVID-19, and it is a descriptive research study using a structured questionnaire to identify the relationship between them and their effect on the quality of life. Research subject. The subject of this study were students attending four-year university located in CN9 provinces, and those who understood the purpose of this study and voluntarily agreed in writing to participate in the study were selected for conveniences. The number of samples required for multiple regression analysis was calculated using the GPAR 3.1.5 program, and the calculated sample size was 151 when the significance level was 0.05. The power was 0.95 and the effect size was 0.26. In anticipation of the dropout, 180 copies were distributed, 170 copies were recovered, and 170 copies were used for the final analysis. Research tool: COVID-19 stress. In order to find out the overall stress caused by COVID-19, the question, how much stress do you currently feel due to the COVID-19 pandemic, was asked to indicate the closest place to their thought. In this question, the higher the score on the numerical scale, the higher the stress caused by COVID-19. Subjective well-being was measured using the concise measure of subjective well-being developed and validated by Seon-guk and Gu-jae-sun. The shortened happiness scale is composed of three sub-factors: life satisfaction, positive emotion, and negative emotion. Specifically, life satisfaction asks for personal, relational, and collective aspects of satisfaction. The reliability in this study was Cronbench's ARPA is 0.868. Life satisfaction Cronbench's ARPA is 0.820. Positive emotion Cronbench's ARPA is 0.854, and negative emotion Cronbench's ARPA was 0.713. For quality of life in this study, the World Health Organization Quality of Life Assessment Instrument developed by WHO in 1995 was used. For this, the Korean version of the World Health Organization's simplified scale for quality of life, which was developed for adults after being translated and standardized by Mi-Jin, was used. This tool consists of a total of 26 questions, 7 questions on physical health. The reliability of the World Health Organization simple scale for quality of life. The reliability was Cronbench's ARPA is 0.89. The reliability in this study was Cronbench's ARPA is 0.919. Data collection procedure. Data collection was conducted from January 1 to February 28, 2022 for subjects who gave written consent to participate in the study. The mobile questionnaire was posted on the University Academic Year Group KakaoTalk chat room, and it was conducted for students who understood the purpose of this study and voluntarily agreed to participate in the study because it was on online class due to COVID-19 and face-to-face situation were unavoidable. Data collection were carried out after obtaining consents via mobile. Data analysis method. For the collected data, SPSS Win26 statistical program was used, and the analysis method was as followed. General characteristics of college students were analyzed by frequency and percentage. Analysis was performed with t-test and ANOVA to find out the differences in stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life after COVID-19 according to the general characteristics of college students. The post-hoc test was analyzed with LSD, stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life after COVID-19 in college students were analyzed by mean and standard deviation. The correlation between stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life after COVID-19 in college students were analyzed by Pearson's correlation coefficients. The factors affecting the quality of life of university students after COVID-19 were identified by regression analysis. Research results. Level of subjective stresses, subjective well-being, and quality of life after COVID-19. The subjects' post-COVID-19 stress was on average of 5.94 plus minus 2.22 points on a scale of 1 to 10. Subjective well-being was on average of 5.13 plus minus 0.91 points on a scale of 1 to 7. Life satisfaction, a subfactor of subjective well-being, was 5.25 plus minus 1.01 points. Positive emotion was 5.26 plus minus 1.08 points, and negative emotion was 3.13 plus minus 1.18 points. The mean quality of life was 96.78 plus minus 13.22 points out of 26 to 130 points. Overall area, a subfactor of quality of life, averaged 6.988 plus minus 1.49 points out of 2 to 10 points, and average 26.46 plus minus 3.95 points out of 7 to 35 points in physical area. The physiological health domain scored 21.24 plus minus 3.70 points out of 6 to 30 points. The social relationship area averaged 11.54 plus minus 2.07 points out of 7 to 15 points, and the environment area averaged 30.66 plus minus 4.46 points out of 8 to 40 points. Correlation between subjective stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life after COVID-19. The subjects' post-COVID-19 stress showed a significant negative correlation with the social relationship area, a subfactor of quality of life, and showed no statistical correlation with other factors. Subjective well-being showed a statistically significant positive correlation with quality of life. Subjective well-being showed a statistically significant positive correlation with the subdomain of quality of life are overall domain, physical domain, physiological health domain, social relationship domain, and the environment domain. Quality of life showed a positive correlation with life satisfaction and positive emotion, which are subfactors of subjective well-being, and negative emotion, and a statistically significant negative correlation. Factors affecting on the subject's quality of life. Table 4 showed a result of regression analysis to analyze the influence of factors affecting the quality of life of subjects in this study. Prior to performing the regression analysis, the tolerance and variance inflection factor values were examined to check whether multicollinearity occurred between each variable, and the tolerance limits were 0.83 to 0.98, out of which were 0.0. The variance expansion values were 1.02 to 1.20, all of which did not exceed 10, indicating that there was no problem with multicollinearity. A regression analysis was conducted with the variables that had significant differences in the characteristics of the subject, namely department satisfaction and personality, post-COVID-19 stress, and subjective well-being. The factors influencing quality of life were academic satisfaction, personality, and subjective well-being. The quality of life explanatory power was found to be 64.1%. Conclusion. This study examines the degree of stress, subjective well-being, and quality of life of college students due to COVID-19 in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, and identifies factors that affect the quality of life of college students. Through this, it was implemented to provide basic data for developing a desirable quality life and developing strategies to improve the quality of life of college students during the corona spread period. The subjective were college students at universities located in K and C and G. As a result of the study, stress caused by COVID-19 was found to have a significant negative correlation with social relations, a subfactor of quality of life. Subjective well-being showed a statistically significant positive correlation with quality of life, and also showed significant positive correlation with the overall domain. Physical domain, physiological health domain, social relationship domain, and environmental domain, which are the factors of quality of life. Quality of life showed positive correlation with life satisfaction and positive emotions, which are the factor of subjective well-being, and negative correlation with negative emotion. As far as for the factors influencing the quality of life, subject satisfaction, personality, and subjective well-being showed significant results. Therefore, in order to improve the quality of life in the context of the COVID-19 pandemic, it is necessary to reduce stress caused by COVID-19 and improve subjective well-being. Thank you for listening.